Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. It's going to be a little bacchanal night tonight, viewers. Something that is sparking, or it is sparkling in Trinidad and Tobago. But before we go to that, remember, Real Talk is offering you 4% on fixed deposit, viewers. Remember that you can't go wrong with that. The only company that is paying you 4% on your hard-earned money. Remember, you can also be a member of Real Talk Credit Union Information, viewers. All you have to do is call the number on screen, set up an appointment, come down to our office that are located at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road in Shoguners. It's a 3-story brown building with a glass front. You can't miss it. On number 14 Caroni Savannah Road in Shoguners. So viewers, over the last few days, news of a Venezuelan national winning the Miss Grand TNT beauty pageant has now sparked controversy on social media. She's from Diego Martin. She was crowned winner at the end of the pageant, which was held at the Banquet and Conference Center in Movietown, in Vedas Bay, in Port of Spain. Matareno. So Trinidad and Tobago. We are a country, we're going to have a little discussion on this, Call your friends, call your family, all the beautiful females in Trinidad and Tobago, let them tune into Real Talk presently. So we're going to have maybe about a 15-20 minute discussion on this. So we are a country of 1.4 million people. Our country produced 2 Miss World. I believe it's 2. 2 Miss World, yeah. 3? 1? Miss World, 1 Miss Universe. Good. That's to tell how beautiful our ladies are. Now, what happened to the promoters of beauty pageants in Trinidad and Tobago? What has happened to the promoters of pageants in Trinidad and Tobago? Did they suck crazy glue? I'm asking a question. It is said that she's a Venezuelan national representing Trinidad and Tobago. They had to provide a translator for this woman. But she's representing an English-speaking country, which is Trinidad. Matareno was born in Venezuela and has been living in TNT for over 5 years. Having been crowned, Matareno will represent TNT at the Miss Grand International 2023 competition in Vietnam in October. What happened to all the beautiful women that were born in Trinidad and Tobago? Why the hell are we using a foreign national, can't even understand, buy a pot in the market, but you're going to represent an English-speaking country? You can barely understand what is the meaning of apple. Apples are fruit. You can't even understand apple in Trinidad and Tobago, but you're going to represent an English-speaking country down in Vietnam. What happened to our promoters in Trinidad and Tobago? Or let's suck on taxi cement? Or let's use crazy glue as a lipstick? Because I ain't hear no promoter saying anything about pageant. I ain't hear nobody saying anything about culture neither. What has happened to them? As of this afternoon, the promoters of this pageant said they are standing by the person that they have selected. Why the hell they didn't go to Venezuela and keep it? Why? I haven't heard anything from any ministers in Trinidad and Tobago. We haven't heard anything from the entertainment world in Trinidad and Tobago. We haven't heard anything from promoters of pageants in Trinidad and Tobago. Everybody sucked on tax cement. Am I right? We have a Venezuelan national representing Trinidad and Tobago. I haven't heard anything from the former Miss Universe of Trinidad and Tobago. I haven't heard anything from the former Miss World of Trinidad and Tobago. Everybody suck on tax cement. Everybody lip tight. And the promoter is standing by the person who they have selected. So Trinidad, out of 1.4 million people, we don't have one beautiful woman to represent Trinidad in Vietnam. I'm asking a question. I'm asking a question. All those ladies with us be on punch. All those ladies will be on the punch paper with a 2-piece and 1-piece. I know what punches are paper going by. Yeah. Nobody, we can't get not one female to represent Trinidad. The director of that pageant, they couldn't find one Trinidadian out of one female Trinidadian out of 1.4 million people. They had to choose a Venezuelan woman to represent Trinidad. She's not, according to you, she's not even a citizen of our country. Let me tell you something. You know what we get? We get a slap all over our head in pageants, in culture. That's what we get. We get a kick right here. You see right here? Right here we get a kick. And we promoters now sitting down with a tail between their leg and their so. How in God's world you will take a Venezuelan national to represent Trinidad and Tobago and you have to provide a translator for her? It's stinking sad. We ain't even hear one thing from people who did launch bands for Carnival. Not even a word come out their mouth. I know I would make an impression. You know why? Because we in television. We in the spotlight. And I could say something about it. Because let me tell you something. This is a kick in the ass. It's a kick to the face. A Venezuelan woman have to represent Trinidad and Tobago. You see the promoter of this program? The promoter of this program, Grand Miss TNT, let me tell you something, she's not a Trinidadian. Are you blind? Are you dumb? Or are you deaf? She is Miss Venezuela, not Miss Trinidad and Tobago. So to the promoters who kept this Grand TNT beauty pageant, let me tell you something, as a Venezuelan national you used to represent Trinidad and Tobago. You in your right sense, you with your 2 eyes in your head, you with your big educated self pageant and beauty pageant. 1.4 million people in Trinidad and Tobago, and you cannot get one female to represent Trinidad? You have to use a Venezuelan national to let down 1.4 million people? You know why I decided to talk about it tonight? So the world will understand the kind of promoters we have in Trinidad and Tobago. that use a foreign national to represent our country. That's how bad things get. I'll tell you something. This put us on the map of total idiots, total clowns, total fools who can't even use somebody from their own country to represent their own country in our next island. We had to use somebody else. I could say something about it. You know why? I represent Trinidad and Tobago. I am a public figure. I am a businessman. I represent Trinidad and Tobago. I am representing Venezuela. I am representing St. Kitts. I am representing Ghana. I am representing Canada. I represent Trinidad and Tobago. Being a public figure, being a businessman. But these beauty pageant directors and managers, ah, Lord, I can't say they went to school in August, you know, because during the COVID we had school sessions going on. Yeah. Not one word I have heard from promoters of beauty pageant in Trinidad and Tobago. Everybody lip tight. Everybody lip tight. Nobody want to say nothing. So let me just enlighten you about something. When I take this girl and they carry her down Vietnam, let me tell her something. Who you think when I get the praise for this girl? This Matarano girl. Which country going to get the big up for this? You think Trinidad going to get a big up? No. No. She is a Venezuelan national. Promoters of beauty pageant in Trinidad select a Venezuelan woman to represent Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you something. When I go down there, they should run all you. They should kick all you out of the competition. I telling all you that. You know why? You know why? That is the biggest form of insult to Trinidad and Tobago. The biggest form of insult you could get is by doing that. So they should kick out all you when all you go down there. Take what I'm telling all you. I represent Trinidad and I'm saying that. You have a problem with it? 3391670. That's my phone number. Are you insulting Trinidad and Tobago? The promoters of this beauty pageant, are you insulting Trinidad? If you all are Trinidadians, let me tell you, it worse again. It worse again. How can you all be such idiots to pick a Venezuelan national to represent Trinidad and Tobago? And on top of that now, you had to provide a translator to represent an English-speaking country, but you have to what? What you have to do? You have to promote you have to get a translator. All you have insulted Trinidad and Tobago to the lowest that the kind of insult we get. With dogs on the street, we can't even provide a Trini woman. That's an insult to the female in Trinidad and Tobago. Is that true? Well, Miss Universe, how she voicing her concern? Where is Miss World? She from Trinidad. Where is her? How come we're not hearing the voices of these people? Them as women from Trinidad, they're supposed to have a say. Imagine that, eh? These promoters and about this beauty pageant, they have insulted the females of Trinidad and Tobago. They're quite telling all you. insulted. We get insulted like that. And nobody in authority has said nothing. Nobody has opened their mouth. Nobody has said hip. Because why? We, out of 1.4 million people, we can produce one female to represent us. One. Just one. I had to talk about it. I couldn't let it just go by. Serious. All insult me, I telling you. Switch power. All insult me. So hear this. Hear this. Hear this, Trinidad and Tobago. Before we go for this break, switch power. Stay with me. So hear this. If, let's just say, if they have to have a male, I can't say beauty contest, a male handsome, the handsomeness of a male contest, where we going? We're going to pick a Trinidadian? We're going to pick a Venezuelan man to represent Trinidad? We're going to pick a man from Canada to represent Trinidad? Or we're going to pick a man from England to represent Trinidad? That is how illiterate we are in Trinidad. We're picking outsiders to represent our own country. Let me tell you something. You see this? You see this team that's going down there? They should get kicked out. I Saieed saying it. They should get kicked out. Just for taking a national from our next country to represent our country. They should get disqualified. I don't care. When you want to represent a country, take somebody from your country, not somebody from our next country. When the PNM administration go to meeting and conference outside, they represent Trinidad. That is what they represent. Trinidad. When you take an individual, a Trinidadian man, and you send him to Grenada to be the consulate, he represents Trinidad in our next country as the consulate of Trinidad. And when Fitzwilliam went up, she represented Trinidad. She didn't represent Guyana. Hey, I'm sure them Guyanese may be laughing at us. I'm sure them people in Guyana are laughing at we. Hey, watch them down there. They're the guy Venezuelan to represent the country. That's the biggest insult. A beauty pageant. They should get kicked out. I don't care if the promoter of this pageant vex, that is his business. Next time you go learn your lesson. Next time you will learn your lesson. And you know nobody is saying nothing, you know, boy. Nobody in the beauty pageant industry is saying nothing, you know. Nothing. If I was the people down in Vietnam, where you from? Trinidad. So if you're from Trinidad now, an English-speaking country, how are you using a translator? Outside you're bashing the people, your daughter could have been going up to represent Trinidad. Am I right or am I wrong? Your daughter could have represent Trinidad. Call her good night.
Good night, Saieed.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Yes, Saieed, so make it make sense. So, you know, we had Emancipation Day went by a few months ago. All right. And we brought down a king from one of these African countries.
He represented that African country, correct?
Right. So why we don't just bring down somebody from Venezuela, wrap up in a gong to represent Africa and Trinidad? Or bring down somebody from India? You know, I mean, I ain't want to song bias, but it's not making sense.
Thank you, my friend.
I'll leave you with that.
Let me tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. You see the females in our country? We got the biggest insult we could have gotten in history. Take what I'm telling you earlier. The biggest insult we could have gotten on a beauty pageant contest, it happened right here over the weekend in Trinidad. How come Kamala ain't say nothing? How come the House Speaker ain't say nothing? How them ain't say nothing? Them is foreign nationals holding a position in Trinidad also. Let me tell you something. It's a stinking bloody hell shame that this is where it reached to. And nobody in authority is saying any goddamn thing about it. Nobody. You know why? Because we like it. We like it like that. But me, who represent Trinidad and Tobago as a businessman, as a public figure, I born in Trinidad. I can't go and represent Grenada. I can't go and represent Kitts. No. I born in Trinidad. I represent Trinidad. So these promoters, when I reach down there, they should kick all that the hell out. I tell you all that. You have a problem with it? 3391670. That's all you have to do. Call me. Call me. You can't carry me in court because I tell you the damn God truth. So viewers, we're going for a short commercial break. But you know, before we go for the break, we had these people who we had to highlight. It gives me great pleasure, you know. I just laugh when I'm doing this, you know. It has given me great pleasure to do this, you know. Vinud, you like to duck? $10,000 you're going to duck now. $10,000, very car. Real Talk is offering $10,000 for this Toyota Aqua PEA 578. So the individual wanted to duck and didn't give me my money now, you know. So I offered $10,000, so now he had to duck, you know. Because if somebody catch up with him, they go ask him with the car. And however he deal with it or they deal with it, that is not my problem as long as he can reach on my compound. You want to duck? Duck for something. Duck for something. Same thing with Narissa. I give Narissa a chance. I give you a chance. Come and talk to me. Bring your asset. You want to talk? You want to run and duck? Now Real Talk is paying $10,000. PDZ 8917. It's a Toyota. PDZ 8917. So I'll find Narissa. I don't know how I'm going to approach. If it's a good way or a bad way, that's not my problem. That is not my problem. Oh, and just to give all a heads up, this is not inciting violence, eh? I just want to let you know that. This is not inciting violence. This is paying for what I want. Same thing with Raquel Sozano. Raquel want to take my money and go away, and because you're in the army, you want to play your big and your this and your that, really? I just think of police. You talk about you in the army. I didn't send you there. You choose to do that work. Nobody didn't send you there. That's your work. You just make money on your work. But you want to run and duck and hide? Well, now you're ducking for something. PCM 9482. $10,000 is being rewarded for each one of this vehicle. $10,000. All I want to run and duck and hide, not a problem. Now it have something in the public domain that it have all kind of people out there, and you know who going to be working for that 10,000. So now all you have to duck. You think the commissioner could come and tell me, say, you're doing something wrong? Commissioner, here what's going on. If you want to say, I'm doing something wrong, just give me the money, these people owe me, and I good to go. Other than that, stay out of my damn business. It's simple as that. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Report Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday. Real Talk Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Real Talk Group of Companies building at number 14 Crony Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook.
So Trinidad and Tobago, I wasn't going to touch on that, you know. I wasn't going to touch on that. I just waited to hear if anybody in the industry had something to say about it, but nobody did. So I decided to light it up a bit. So the females of Trinidad and Tobago, congratulations to you. It doesn't matter how beautiful you are. You have been insulted on your beauty. Insulted. President Christine Kangaloo have called on all parliamentarians for greater collaboration across the aisles on legislation and other measures designed to fight crime. Yeah, who's saying this, eh? Yeah, who's saying this, eh? She was speaking in an address to members of the House of Representatives and the Senate during yesterday's launch of the 4th session of the 12th Parliament, the 4th year of the 5-year term. She stated that the pain and suffering are unbearable, and it should drive parliamentarians to put aside their party revivals and collaborate on how to stem crime and criminals' conduct. Listen to this.
I hope that there can be greater collaboration across the aisle, particularly where legislative and other measures designed to help us fight crime are concerned. The urgency is obvious. The pain and the suffering are unbearable. These alone should drive parliamentarians to put aside their party rivalries, join hands across the aisle, and collaborate on how to stem crime and criminal conduct.
Caller, good night.
Hi, good night.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Right, I have a question concerning the Venezuelan representing Trinidad and Tobago. Is anyone representing Venezuela?
No.
No, okay. But I think it's really an embarrassment and an insult to Trinidad and Tobago for a non-national to represent our country. So you're telling me that Trinidad and Tobago has no female that is of that quality and status?
Well, actually, they didn't find no females in Trinidad to represent our country. They had to go Venezuela and take a woman.
And it's so embarrassing.
So, my darling, if you are a beautiful princess in Trinidad, you have just been insulted by the beauty pageant of Trinidad and Tobago.
I agree.
It's so sad.
Yes, so have a good night, though.
Thank you, my dear. It's so sad, eh? You're living in Trinidad 5 years, you're representing an English-speaking country, and we had to get a translator for you. It's stinking sad. The females in Trinidad and Tobago got slapped right in their face. And nobody has seen nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nobody. Even the promoter of the pageant, they may see nothing wrong with that. Let me insult the 3 females and them. Yeah, let me tell you something now. If you want to launch at me, come here now. I am a public figure. I born in Trinidad. I represent in Trinidad. I can't go and talk about the road they have in Brazil. 239-1670. Call me and insult me. I'm going to stink you up some more. Now, former Senate President utilized her knowledge of Parliament to deliver her hopes for TNT progress via 5 targets, as well as defending parliamentarians against the doubt with which they were often regarded. Kangaloo said she hoped that Parliament will come together to enact laws that are even more reflective of our society goals and vision in relation to legislation that protects and advances culture and arts in Trinidad. Hold on. Why Christine Kangaloo didn't come out and say something about the Venezuelan who live in Trinidad 5 years now and want to represent us? And why she didn't say something against the promoters and them who keeping this? As a woman, Christine, you could have represent woman. Hey, I feel like chipping and joke. I real do this when I ready, you know. Even though I speak in 6 different languages, accountant, 2 exams away from being a chemical engineer, even though I have all that, I could be real stupid when I ready, you know. How it is Christine didn't come out and say something on behalf of the females in Trinidad and Tobago? Oh, let's say something now. Oh, let's say something. Call her good night.
I'm going to decide you are shining light on these people. Why do they feel like owl? More light you shine on them is less they are seeing. These leaders and them. In 1956, when the Queen encouraged William to come and run for leadership of this country, what he did is he compromised with the colonialism and them. Because they have 3 letters that he used. P for what? Pinta, one of the boat that Columbus come with in 1492. N for what? Nina, another boat. M for Maria. One of these 3 of the 7 boats they use, so we are still under this colonial stigmatization, and it's not going to get better because what happens is that the poor man in this country has been pushed in the pit lower and lower and lower. This Westminster system we have, everybody is asking when they get into power, they want constitutional reform, and when they reach there, they forget all about that. Why? It's because it suits them. It gives all with this colonial system, Westminster system is in Burundi, in Africa. There's civil war. Because this cannot work in these modern times. We need these politicians and them to know that the people of this country and the people of their country are not the owner. They don't own us. We are not asset of the state. We put them there to rule and to do the best that they could to help the people. And they are not doing this. And we have to come out and march like we did in 1970 and come out and tell these people and them it's time to get off from power and give somebody else who can do the job. Thank you, Saieed.
Thank you, my friend. So listen, Christine.
My hope is that in this 4th session of the 12th Parliament of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Parliament will continue further along the road of getting things right. There are a number of areas on which I hope Parliament might see it fit to focus during this upcoming session. Areas of focus which I hope Parliament will agree can help Trinidad and Tobago to get things right. Second, my hope is that Parliament will, in that vein, pull together to enact laws that are even more reflective of our society's goals and vision, including in relation to legislation that both protects and advances culture and the arts.
Look how beautiful Christine looking. Look how beautiful Christine looking. How can the beauty pageant people didn't select Christine? She's a born Trinidadian. She's speaking English proper. She don't need a translator. She's the head of the House of Representatives in Trinidad and Tobago. She's sitting on the chair. Plus, she's a family person. She's a public figure in society. She representing the laws. She representing the mothers. She representing the female. She representing family. She representing married life. Let's come to Trinidad and Tobago. Let's say something. Just run back a flash at the video. Look how beautiful Christine looking. How pretty she looking there. Why didn't they choose Christine? Now with Christine now, Christine got insult from the beauty pageant now. They can't take a Trinidadian, they don't take a Venezuelan national. There's a slap in Christine's face now being a woman in Trinidad and Tobago. You see? So those female in high authority, they got a slap in their face and they can't say nothing. They can't say nothing about it. It takes a man like Saieed to raise it in public domain to show you how it is. Not even one female in Trinidad they take. I tell you, should I get kicked out? I saying it. Now, Christine added that in giving steel pan a formal and official national instrument status is critical to opening doors of the industry on international market as it has been recognized the universal value, and she believes that in time that we do the same. Listen to this.
I hope that it will be seen fit for there to be an urgent parliamentary intervention that results at long last in the steel pan being firmly and irrevocably declared our national instrument. Those in the industry will tell you that giving the steel pan formal and official national instrument status is critical to opening doors for the industry in international markets. The General Assembly of the United Nations has formally recognized the universal value and significance of the steel pan. I believe that it is high time that we formally do the same.
Trinidad and Tobago, concerning Christine could go up and represent Trinidad and Tobago. You know why? So here what we need, Here what we need to represent Trinidad and Tobago. After this call. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Saheed,
yes?
If the government is saying anything, the Prime Minister, nobody. Why we don't have a Venezuelan Prime Minister? You feel that should be good too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, my dear. Ms. Grant, Trinidad and Tobago aspiring delegates should be unmarried and children, natural born female, and must be a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. Or if I'm wrong, tell me, because this is the information I got. Between the age of 18 and 29. To remain 29 years of age on the coronation night. So the night they promote you, that the night you're supposed to be 29 still. Now, minimum height of 168 centimeters. Familiar with TNT in several matters such as culture, tradition, politics, trade, environment, conflicts, etc. Has good moral character. We don't even know who this person is. So we can judge her by her moral character. Has not participated in any obscene exhibition, whether printed, stage, television, or movies. But I hear some things running on fans. Let's talk to Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you something. Coming around me come damn good, you know. Come damn good, you know. I know I was telling earlier. Has not engaged in prostitution or any form, therefore must hold a valid passport which does not expire before April 2024. Does she have a Trinidad and Tobago passport? All you know why I'm making it a big thing? All you want to know why Trinidad and Tobago? Because I am a Trinidadian born male individual. A handsome one already, you know. And some of you say like, oh, side, like you have clothes to go to court, I have clothes to go to court too. And I have lawyers to back me up too. So if the delegate's supposed to have all these things, how come we know about this one? The females in this country get a slap in their face. They get insulted from the holder of this pageant. If nobody tell them that, Saieed Ali from Real Talk on Synergy Television telling them that. Or let's slap. How much? About 700,000 females in Trinidad and Tobago, just give or take. We got slap in my face. Caller, good night.
Good evening, Mr. Saieed. How are you going?
My friend, how are you? What do you think about this whole situation?
Saieed, let me tell you something. When you think about the kind of things that we taking place in this country, and we just accept it over and over, just imagine the main transport to get goods and services to Tobago.
It down.
Fire, it down. A boat is about nearly about 30 years old.
Correct.
Nobody has said nothing.
And they take it from a country that is sanctioned,
And
which
then
no
they
other
go and they
country is
bring a
supposed to
boat
do
now.
business with them.
Then they replace that with a boat that could only carry about 10 bags of flour to Tobago.
About £1,000, yeah.
You understand? And they accept that. Then we accept a woman as a president in this country where when crime was at its peak, and they keep on calling and asking she to debate crime and let the opposition and the government come together.
She says not I see.
And bring motions in debate crime. She saying it is of no interest, it is of no interest.
But now
is
it's our interest.
Who have to sign and legislate laws into our constitution. And then she coming and telling us now, hear what?
Join
we
together.
have to work together to make this place a better place.
Correct.
Let me tell you something. If one set of people on this planet that is fit the adjective of dotish is Trinidadian. Trust me. We really, something had to be wrong with we. And you know, we just talk about, yeah, we're the happiest set of people in the world. How a population of 1.4 million people could be happy when every over 500 people get slaughtered in this country?
Correct.
And, you know, and we worrying about the woman who's a Veni. Siotong and them bring in nearly 200,000 Venezuelan and put them in our population.
Correct.
Nobody asking where they is now, how they living, how they surviving these nearly 3 years now. Just how this whole country, instead of douglas it's going to be Veni rice. You understand? Because anywhere you go, you see a Veni with a little child in Gian, it's either brown skin or curly hair. Who they're meeting with? And these locals? So obviously we women and them had to see trouble. Let them bring in the Veni and win all the pageant and all these kind of thing. But again, it come back to we like to sit down and accept nonsense in this country and feel everything is okay. Have a good night, Mr. Saeed. Enjoy the rest of your program and take care.
Thank you, my friend. I'll tell her something, eh? Nothing wrong with hosting a pageant, you know. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Promoting beauty and culture in Trinidad and Tobago, I would support it 100%. But you know what what I actually went against? You see, selecting another individual from our country to represent our country, you insulting the females in our country. What about all the top singers, the female singers in Trinidad and Tobago? Where are they today? Where are they? How come their voice is not being heard? When they as female got insulted when another female from our next country representing your country. How you feel? There's a slap in the face all I get. Call her good night.
Saeed, I heard you said they're asking if you have court clothes, but you're always looking sharp.
Thank you,
and I would like to compliment you on your work because this country, I don't know what is really going on. It has so much educated, beautiful women in this country. And look at the kind of foolishness they're getting on with. Thanks for your program and have a blessed night.
Thank you, my dear. So we're staying on our program now. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has stated that he will be very happy if there is a change in the new session of Parliament in the views of opposition, as he defines it in not supporting legislation brought by the government. However, the PM said that there are some of his colleagues in Parliament who believe that if things get worse, it will get better for them. Listen to the PM.
Frankly, I would be surprised if any different approach is taken by some of my colleagues. Because unfortunately, I'm of the view that there are some colleagues of mine in the Parliament who believe that if things get worse, it will get better for them. I would be very happy if that view is not adhered to, but we've had people declare their position. that they will not support anything that the government brings.
So if you just remember, Real Talk is offering 4% on fixed deposit. Remember that. Hey, remember you could be a member of our credit union information. Be members. You know, it's sad, you know. I have some beautiful workers now, Vin. Real Talk Group have some beautiful workers. They're not married. They're well educated. They are associated with the culture and the lifestyle of Trinidad and Tobago. Them have no children. They're within the height of 169. You know? They know about the culture. They know about Trinidad and Tobago. They know about politics. And etc. You understand what I said, Trinidad and Tobago? Hey, switch my back. Hear this now. I can't believe, to be honest with you, I hearing it and I seen it, but I still can't believe the females in our country got slapped in their face. I'm telling you, I seen it and I hearing it, and I still can't believe not one single female in society in Trinidad and Tobago standing up. Not one. Hey, what is now? I have a whole list of news to give all you tonight, you know. But me as a male in Trinidad and Tobago, it's an insult to my Trinbagonians female. It's an insult. It's a slap in the face. Now, I have a beautiful daughter. She's about 150 something. She's very educated. She knows all about the culture and about the politics and about everything that is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. She could have been Miss Grand pageant winner in Trinidad. She could have been representing Trinidad. Is she from the law firm? She from the law firm. Look at that. She well educated with the laws of Trinidad and Tobago. But we put a woman, we don't know what background she come from. We don't know how long, we don't know who looking for she down there. No, I mean, look at these things. Is a Venezuelan national you put? Because they're living in Trinidad 5 years? What happened before 5 years in Trinidad? You know anything about it? Does she even know where steel pan come from? Does she know how TASA function in Trinidad and Tobago? Does she know about the politics in Trinidad and Tobago? I cannot sit by or stand by and watch my Trinbagonian sisters, which is Trinidad, my daughter, Navin daughter, your daughters. I cannot watch me for the life in me. I cannot stand up here and watch the females in our country get blunt slapping with face by some promoter of a pageant, a beauty pageant. Serious. I don't know whoever in radio and media and press, I don't know if they could sit by and take it, knowing their daughter could have been representing Trinidad in Vietnam come October, you know. But I cannot sit down and watch my females in Trinidad and Tobago get slapped across their face. I can't sit down and watch it. Sorry, Allah forgive me. But I can't just sit down and see it happen like that. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Calling from Tuna Puna.
Welcome to Napuna.
Saeed, I have a mouthful to say. And I'll tell you why I say this. That insulting. I don't know how to call her, but the president is a downright hypocrite. Because you talking about for the opposition to in tandem and hand in hand with the government in terms of solving the problems of the country, more so with crime. When you was the president of the Senate, you used to shut down the opposition, you and Bridget and he said George. When they were asking to deal with questions of the health, the education, the crime and all this kind of thing.
How many times I showed video clips where you shutting down the opposition?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now let me show you something. She asked to give her a chance and she will do things differently. Remember Christine Kangaloo said that? All these notices you're talking, Christine Kangaloo, you praising the president, the PNM, and you breaking for them. They have been doing nonsense, and all you want to put the blame on is for the opposition to give support to the government who doing crap. Today, you should have been the spokesperson today and come criticizing that decision of the selection of Venezuelan. Now, Saeed, let me tell you something. My father was a Venezuelan, eh?
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So I have some empathy and sympathy and whatnot towards them. But at the same time, you can't tell me that the president, and as you just outlined when you read the criteria for what somebody as a nominee or a candidate must be selected, you must know the culture of the country.
Correct.
You must have idea of the politics and all a number of factors and whatnot and things. Tell me where the oath that this, because even though she had a guy interpreter, does she know anything about our politics, our culture, and everything? Where is the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Tourism, and all these people?
Correct.
Not opening their mouth and saying anything about it.
They are afraid to.
Okay, where is the women's arm of this country? The different various women. Just recently we celebrated International Women's Day.
Well said.
One would have expected that would have been every criticism coming out from the women of this country, condemning that such move. And here it is again. Not even the Prime Minister or anybody saying, hey, this is wrong.
What if from the Prime Minister's wife?
But you see, Saeed, what is happening? This is based on politics, you know, because Rowley wouldn't want to kick against Venezuela because his partner is Maduro. You understand? And he would want to appease them and make it look like, you know, a thing. But when in the international world, they will be watching and laughing at me.
Yeah, but
you know, all committees that are non-national could represent Trinidad and Tobago.
With the joke at the Caribbean now, you know.
Right. And then finally, Saeed, Keith Rowley, you're a downright hypocrite. When you're talking about, you know, the opposition, you know that even though that we come to the parliament and we want to debate crime and whatnot, you know that they have, the opposition will be vehemently opposing and they would not want to give support and whatnot. When you yourself in the parliament say, when the opposition now was in government, we will not support all you and we will make sure and chase all you out of office. And all these issues, as it relates to crime that you don't want to discuss, nothing with them. Even now, when they were proposing to you, to meet with you, to discuss serious things as it relates to crime and whatnot, you shut them down and you say, I want to have no dealing with them whatsoever. Now all you want to come and pay. And the whole country want to put the blame on the opposition for not wanting to meet with the government and to deal with the crime situation, to pass legislation and whatnot. When the blasted government
Thank you, my friend.
Reject every assistance.
Thank you, my friend. We're almost out of time. So Trinidad and Tobago, we will wrap up the story with the PM. Now, he also added that there are new and worsening things happening in our country, which needs attention and call on his colleagues to put country first. Listen to the PM.
We have a new president. It's a new parliament. There are new and worsening situations in the country, which require parliament's intervention. And we at the level of the government, we will keep trying in the parliament to encourage our colleagues to put country first.
So viewers, but before we close off our program, we have about 5 minutes. We just want to highlight this $10,000 issue that Real Talk is offering to the public. For any individual, if you find Vinud, ask him where his car is. Maybe if you get the car, you could get 10,000. Where's Vinud? Where the car? Stay with me at all. So viewers, we are offering $10,000 for the car. $10,000 for the car. Anybody bring the car? All well and good. It's 3,000 they get in. Same thing with Narissa. Let me tell you something. As a real nice, cool fella. Real nice and cool. But when you want to duck, I will give you something to duck. $10,000 we're offering for Narissa car also. PDZ 8917. You want to hide? Not a problem. Now it has something to hide for. That's a nice fella, you know. Same thing with Raquel Sozano. I give all your time. All I want to run and duck and hide from Saieed. Well, now it have something. The whole public looking for all you. Run and duck and hide. Nothing wrong with that. If all you feel is a game, well, the game now start. So $10,000 also has been rewarded for PCM 9482. But tell us something. I just talk and laugh with everybody, you know. Come back to it. But you see, seriousness. You see, seriousness is something, and it gets serious when serious games playing. Imagine all borrow money from me. And all running and ducking and hiding. I so good, eh? I so good. I throw out the next $10,000 on it. On each of them. 10,000 by 10,000 by 10,000. That's how good I is. You want to play hide and seek? Well, no, the game is about to begin. Hide and seek. So, Wednesday coming up, this is Tuesday night, tomorrow is Wednesday. I feel like I could just release where they're living. Yeah. I'm going to release where they're living. We will say it as the last known address. And I heard there's address it, Tallman? Last known address on public? Right. Me, I doing nothing wrong. I within my boundaries. So Raquel last known address was my arrow. You get the name. Don't worry. Let me tell you something. I know how to play my game, you know. I know how to play my game. I know how to run my rhythm. I know how to beat my steel pan, you know. I know how to play my tassa. Why? I'm from Trinidad. I'm from Trinidad. That is me. I know how to, how would they say it? We know how to rock the boat. Yeah, we know how to rock the boat. You know why this be like this on television? Because I know my rights. I know my boundaries. The reason why I name it Real Talk is because I ain't here to papi show nobody. I here to fix Trinidad and Tobago. You know why? I am a citizen of this country. I am a businessman in this country. I am a father in this country. And I Saieed. So who vex? Let me tell you something. All you need to grow up and understand who all is in all your country. And if you can't do that in your country, you cannot do it in no other country. Because you will be limited in another country. That's something new you're learning. You see where we reach now? Outside national. Because they're here 5 years now. They are not a citizen of our country, but they're representing our country in our next island. What happened to the beautiful woman of Trinidad and Tobago? We got a slap in our face over the weekend. And it's a big joke. It's a big joke. Promoters say, you know what? We're standing by who we choose. You should have go Venezuela and do that. Don't do it in Trinidad and Tobago, where it have people like me who would stand for my females in we country. Not because you keep a pageant, not because you're represented in Vietnam. You go come and put a slap to the female faces in Trinidad and Tobago. Don't do that. That is a line. Know which side of the border to stay on. Know which side of the border to stay on. When I go down Vietnam, they should ask all the promoter, where are from Trinidad? Where are they delegate from? Well, you know, she's from Venezuela, but she representing Trinidad. That is an insult right there, even to all you two. Even to all you two, that is an insult. But all you see it like that. All you see it as all guy individual to represent Trinidad. But is she a Trinidad? Does she know anything about politics? Does she know anything about tassa and steel pan and drum beating? Imagine she went up. She went up and we had provider. Who? Translator. You know why I'm making it a big issue? What happened to the females in our country? What happened to them? So hopefully from tonight now, others in Trinidad go realize what's taking place and they go open their eye. They go open their eye. It is take a real man with real talk to bring real issues to real people. Until we meet again, good night.